One man, two golden buzzers, zero public votes. In 20 years, Britain's Got Talent has never seen anything like this. This is the staggering true story of how Matty Juniosa turned a history of failure into a masterclass of global dominance. The storm on the Britain's Got Talent 2026 stage. The world of international entertainment was suddenly shaken by a phenomenon that had never been imagined in the two-decade history of Britain's Got Talent. In the midst of the blinding studio lights, a young man named Matty Juniosa has just carved history in golden ink that is impossible for anyone to erase. He is not just a contestant who came with a million dreams, but a figure who managed to force history to its knees through an achievement that is truly beyond human logic. On a stage that has birthed global stars, Matty emerged as the deadliest anomaly to modern television competition standards today. He wasn't just singing, he was declaring a war against the self-doubt that had shackled him for years in a foreign land. Everyone was stunned to watch how a man initially considered an ordinary stranger suddenly transformed into the center of the universe, drawing the entire attention of the British public in a single incredibly tense blink of an eye. Roots of wonder from the corner of Mandaluyong City. This seemingly instant journey is actually a long epic rooted in the streets of Mandaluyong City, Philippines, where his raw talent first began to be forged.
Matty Juniosa is not the instant product of a glamorous entertainment industry marketing machine, but the result of years of devotion in a quiet school choir. In the middle of the city's hustle and bustle, he built a vocal mastery that didn't need to scream to be heard, yet possessed an emotional depth capable of tearing the soul of anyone who heard it. While studying at De La Salle University, he joined the vocal group Inner Soul, the place where he began to realize that his voice was a gift as well as a burden he had to carry. He wasn't chasing fame then. He was just saving every note and every ounce of pain for a big explosion that he didn't yet know when would happen. His talent was a secret kept tightly by the universe, waiting for the perfect moment to be released before millions of pairs of eyes on the other side of the globe. The ghost of failure on the Idol Philippines stage. The year 2019 became a very painful turning point in his life, a wound he carried across the ocean to prove something to himself. At just 20 years old, Matty took the biggest risk by entering the debut season of Idol Philippines and successfully breaking into the prestigious top 12. However, fate had other plans. He did not emerge as the winner, and that defeat stuck to his soul like a curse mark that was difficult to release.
Although he briefly formed the vocal group Idols and reached significant popularity in his homeland, there was an emptiness that continued to gnaw at his conscience every day. That failure was not the end, but a burning ember that continued to fuel his spirit to seek a validation higher and wider than just a local stage. He felt that success in the Philippines was not enough to redeem the shame of the competition loser label he had unilaterally given himself. For Matty, victory was not just about a trophy, but about self-respect that had been shattered into pieces. The escape to the cold of Glasgow City. In a decision considered insane by many around him, Matty chose to leave his comfort zone in the Philippines for a scholarship at the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland. He packed his entire life into a small suitcase, leaving behind rising popularity, and flew to a Glasgow that was cold and foreign to his tropical soul. Glasgow is not Manila. The bone-chilling weather was a culture shock that briefly shook his defense as a newly arriving artist. In this city, the future star had to lead a double life as a musical theater student and a part-time cafe waiter to survive. Behind the trays and customers' leftover food, Matty was sharpening his weapon, learning to act, dance, and understand every inch of the theater stage with very harsh discipline.
He sacrificed his comfort as a local idol to become a professional with world-class qualifications under the tutelage of British theater masters. Every drop of sweat in the cafe kitchen was an investment for a moment that would change his life forever. Transformation into a tough musical theater actor. The years in Scotland transformed Matty from just a singer into a performer who was truly well-rounded and possessed extraordinary depth of character. He didn't just train his vocal cords, but also absorbed every role in various prestigious productions, such as Kinky Boots, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and Spring Awakening. The stage experience at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe in 2024 gave him a sharpness of instinct that no talent show contestant in the world possessed. He learned how to master the audience's emotions, how to breathe under pressure, and how to bring a song to life into a real story. However, even though he had earned a bachelor's degree and had impressive theater flight hours, he remained a cafe waiter in Glasgow whose name was not yet known by the international public. In his heart, he still held a great curiosity about whether his talent was worthy enough to compete on a stage as big as Britain's Got Talent. He was standing at a crossroads between remaining a stable theater actor or taking one last brave step to erase the loser label from his dark past. The Purple Rain explosion that shook the world.
Presenter, TV host. When Matty finally stepped onto the Britain's Got Talent stage in March 2026, the studio atmosphere suddenly turned electric and full of gripping anticipation. His first sentence about wanting to prove himself more than just the loser from 7 years ago immediately created a strong emotional connection with the audience. And when Simon Cowell asked about Star Wars, Matty's witty response showed that he was a true entertainer with a mental intelligence far above average. However, when he began singing Prince's Purple Rain, everything seemed to stop spinning. That voice glided like lightning, splitting the dark Glasgow night sky. The audience stood before the song ended, a tribute rarely given to any audition contestant in the long history of the most popular television show. The 4 judges, including Simon Cowell and KSI, seemed transfixed, as if they couldn't believe the vocal quality they were listening to at that moment. It wasn't just an audition, it was a coronation ceremony for a new king in the world of entertainment who had been long awaited by the public. The first golden buzzer, a mandate from Simon Cowell. Simon Cowell, the most ruthless judge in the global entertainment industry, didn't need much time to realize he was facing a very rare diamond. Without much fuss or long-winded deliberation, Simon slammed the golden buzzer button with full confidence, sending Matty Juniosa straight to the semi-final round. The golden light raining down on Matty's body then was a symbol of the collapse of all doubts and the end of his difficult times as a forgotten cafe waiter. The audition clip exploded on the internet within hours, triggering a national celebration in the Philippines, which felt proud to have such a powerful representative on the British stage. Millions of people around the world began to find out who exactly this youth from Glasgow was, who could make Simon Cowell lose his words in awe. However, the pressure that emerged after this first golden buzzer was much heavier. The world now waited to see if he could surpass the miracle he had just created himself. Matty was no longer an underdog. He was the primary target for the expectations of millions who wanted flawless perfection in every performance. The peak of vocal Everest in Dream On. Entering the semi-final round, Matty Juniosa took a very dangerous risk by choosing Aerosmith's Dream On to perform live. This song is known as the highest mountain for singers, a vocal challenge that often destroys the ambitions of even the most confident contestants on stage. However, Matty climbed every high note with very precise control, showing vocal techniques resulting from musical theater education that were truly at a godlike level. Alicia Dixon even lost her words and called the performance a world-class vocal masterclass that was sensational and without a single flaw.
The entire auditorium was forced to stand for the second time, creating a wave of energy so powerful that it filled every corner of the production studio. Matty wasn't just surviving, he was dominating the competition with the full authority of an artist who had found his purest identity. He proved that the theater education he pursued in Scotland was not in vain, but a foundation that made him stand taller than other contestants who only relied on natural talent. An eternal record, the phenomenal double golden buzzer. What happened next was a moment that officially shattered all conventional rules in the history of Britain's Got Talent for nearly 2 decades. Amanda Holden, captivated by the magical power in Matty's voice, decided to do something that had never happened before in this competition. Even though each judge officially only has one golden buzzer quota per season, Amanda still chose to slam the golden button for Matty in the semi-final round. For the first time in history, a contestant received 2 golden buzzers from 2 different judges in the same season of the same competition consecutively. Matty Juniosa automatically advanced to the final round without ever having to go through the public voting process, which is full of uncertainty and elimination drama. Simon Cowell himself openly admitted in front of the camera that Matty was indeed very deserving of 2 golden buzzers because of his above-average quality.
This record was not just about luck, but absolute recognition of the dedication and hard work of a man who refused to give up on his past failures in his homeland. Facing the final, from waiter to global legend. Now, approaching the final round in May 2026, Matty Juniosa stands as the strongest candidate the bookmakers have seen in several years. From Mandaluyong to Manila, then to Glasgow, and finally toward the grand stage of the BGT Grand Final, without once being touched by the threat of public vote elimination. Matty has proven that the competition loser narrative he once attached to himself has now been shattered into pieces, replaced by the status of a new legend. He doesn't just carry his own name, but also carries the Philippine identity he attached through the national flag ear cuff accessory he wore with great pride. The question now is no longer whether Matty deserves to be on that stage, because he has answered it decisively twice with a phenomenal golden buzzer. The real question is whether the British public is ready to crown a man who has made history even before the final round officially begins. Whatever the final result may be, Matty Juniosa has won against himself, changing his fate from a cafe waiter into a global icon who will be remembered forever.